Hey guys, so this video is going to be about being dragged to mental facilities as somebody who is not clinically insane. So I'm just going to share with you guys everything that I saw, everything that I learned, and yeah, I'll just see what comes up. So this is kind of like a continuation from the story times that I was doing. Well, the story time I was doing about like you know, the, domestic abuse that I was kind of dealing with the family that I was raised by, and also my children's father. So, prior to meeting him, and also, throughout my youth and everything, I've never been somebody who's dealt with any type of mental issues. Now, I'm saying this to kind of just clear the air on like me having any type of like disability or like autism or anything. I have no diagnosis like that, so I just want to throw that out there. Yeah. If anything, I may just be like a little like hyper aware of my surroundings because of what I've dealt with, in my childhood, and through like the domestic abuse situations I have been through. But I'm, by the grace of God, I'm okay. So I said all that to say, my first incident with going to the mental hospital was, so there was a week, I had my last baby, and let me see if I can set this up. Let's see. Okay, cool. So I had my last baby in October 2020. So we're still mid-pandemic. Everything, was solo, me by myself, going to the doctor's visits, everything, fine. I was pretty much a single mom at this point anyways, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But yeah, so I had my son, and then I started just like, I got home with him. The other two came home, and then we started just kind of going through our day-to-day motions and figuring out, the other two are super helpful siblings with him. Our little man, he's something else. He's a sweet kid. But he's something else. He's a Scorpio for sure. It's so funny. That's my baby though. But anyways, had him. I was nursing, just like I did with Maya. I was actually induced with him, because he was about a week or so overdue. So that was interesting. But anywho, he was breastfed. I was nursing him. I was cooking sometimes, but ordering a lot of Chipotle. I received a very lovely Godiva chocolate gift basket from my Aunt Letha. Thank you. I never got to see you to say thank you and thank you. So I remember that series of events occurring. Then Thelma Williams came by and brought like a 7-layer salad to me. And she would just kind of like, check in. She saw the baby. We were cool. Everything was fine. We were just going through the motions. I healed pretty quick because I had him naturally. So that was awesome. So I felt like, I was able to kind of get up and get back to the swing of things quick. Like, I think I even went to the store with all 3 kids, like, within week 2 after I had him. So I think I did move a little bit too fast as far as, like, oh, I feel better, so I'm just going to go. But I don't think it was actually, like, postpartum. I think it was a lot of, like, outside stressors, which I'm going to get to right now. And then also me kind of just rushing myself back into my day-to-day routines. So, I'll get to the weird part. So fast forward, I would say he was at least like 2 months, you know, he was about 2 months old. And then things just started getting weird. So we got our water shipment. I put the water up. We were receiving water from Ready Refresh. It was Ice Mountain. It was in the foyer of our home. This is when I'm staying in Hazel Crest, or it was like 3740 Highland Place, okay? That house is now an Airbnb, by the way. It's crazy, and it's super expensive. Crazy. So we were staying at that location, and I just started feeling weird. I specifically remember just feeling weird. Yes, I had resumed smoking weed, as it was medicinal, and it was helping me with the cramping that happens when your uterus and everything is still contracting and going back down to normal size. It's helping me with that, and also helping me like de-stress. I've always treated it as a reward, so I was not overindulging. That was the only thing that I was personally aware of that I was taking at the time. I really didn't even have a need for the strong ibuprofens that they sent home with me. Actually, Victor was taking them, which I found out later down the line. He was taking a lot of my prescription medicine, painkillers, you know, that were, you know, prescribed to me from the childbirth. And, you know, it was just crazy. Anyways, so, you know, I just started feeling really weird this one day. And I just like stopped talking. I just didn't say anything. I just got like kind of went mute. And I just kind of remember like being in a YouTube video with my kids, and then like seeing them on Roblox, but knowing that it was like Victor's friends. It was like Melissa and Stephanie. Like because of the names that they had on there and then their voices, I could hear them talking to my daughter. So I was fucking tweaking out. Like I was ready to crash out so fucking hard. So I think I kind of just astroplaned a little bit because I was so mad, and I wasn't even like really saying anything because he had already invalidated everything that I was telling him about these bitches from his hometown. You know, these people I don't even know well enough to be like, dude, you need to get these girls, you know, that I've only met like one time, you know. And at that time, I hadn't even met Stephanie in person yet. But I had seen some, you know, conversation between them where he was like flirting with her, etc. What the fuck ever, you know. Like, if she wanted him that bad, she could have had him. Period. So, crazy thing is, I was actually making a YouTube video with Isaac, and I just felt like really spaced out. I started kind of like feeling like the show. So my daughter was watching this like weird German little girl. She's like blonde, and she's like just singing the same song about Christmas on loop, and everything was just really weird. Just really fucking weird, you know. And then like, I just remember like them slowly but surely coming to get the kids. And then it was like Kia shows up, and Kia is somebody who's my maternal aunt, and she never comes to pick up my kids at all. So that was weird to me. But she came and got my baby, and he was the last one to leave. The older two had gone with Gigi, Thelma Williams. Okay. So they went with her, and then I'm just sitting there, and like I just was mute. Like I had nothing to say. Like I don't know if I had like gotten so mad that I went, in order for me to kind of like, I don't know if God was just like having me coasted out so that I didn't go to jail, because I knew that they were talking to my kids through their tablets. I was already weirded out by these weird ass tablets that he had gotten them for Christmas. They were some weird foreign ass tablets, you know? Like the setup for them that I did was in a total foreign language. It was fucking weird. Like nothing made sense, from like Christmas, you know, to like, and all this happened shortly before Christmas. And then it's fucking weird. The timeline is weird from like me having my baby. It was just like a series of weird ass events after I had him. that started from the point that he was 2 months. Okay. So, his family had actually come, his mother and his sister Judy had actually come to see the baby. And they came to see me. We watched Soul, which was fucking weird, and I felt weird watching that movie. I avoided watching that movie for some time because I just felt really strange. And it was like, at that time, that was the first time I heard her threaten me in Spanish, and she said that she was going to make me into belts, wallets, and purses. She showed up. Her and Judy had matching black hair, and they were wearing baby blue. It was really weird because she never has her hair that dark. It was just really fucking weird. And they were just really, like, she's cleaning the kitchen, but, like, talking shit. Like, I heard them literally talking about me, but they didn't think that I knew that they were talking about me. So it was just really weird. It was like, what the fuck? You know, like, do you guys think that I'm that dumb? Like, I think I was just, like, in disbelief, and also, like, maybe, like, tripping off whatever, you know, I don't even know. It was just fucking weird. Anyways, fast forward, they leave. I'm shocked and appalled that this bitch said that she was going to make me into belts, wallets, and purses. Okay, because what kind of threat is that? Okay. And then they watched Soul. You know, I didn't even really I remember sitting there and watching it, but I wasn't really in tune with what was happening in the movie. Okay, fucking weird. So, then I'm just gonna flash forward to, like, me getting to the mental hospital and everything. So, like I was saying, my family had come and they had picked up the kids. This event happened after, you know, his mom visited with his sister. This was after that. So they come and they get my kids. Again, that was my maternal aunt and her mother, Thelma and Kia. So they're picking up my kids, and I'm there, and Victor's like, well, I settled the Italian beef. And he's like saying all these weird things, and he keeps doing these calculations, you know, like he keeps doing like these equations in his phone, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why is he just doing math like persistently in his phone? It's so weird. Okay, so I'm like, okay, something's up. And then he's just like yelling at me like, I don't know what's wrong with you, but get back in that kitchen and make dinner. You need to cook something. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know, like, why are you talking to me like that? He was just really aggressive and really weird. So I'm just sitting on the couch, kind of like watching TV, still feeling really spaced out. And everything's weird. So it's like the HGTV was like orange. It's back-to-back pizza commercials. So he left for work and then came back, and it was like back-to-back pizza commercials, guys. I kid you not. It was like Little Caesars, Pizza Hut, back-to-back Pizza Hut, Little Caesars, Pizza Hut, Little Caesars. And I start getting these mental like scenarios of like them turning my brand new baby into a pizza. And I asked Thelma Williams, I was like, are you guys going to sacrifice my baby? Something just told me to ask her that. And she's like, no, why would you say that? Why would you say that? She like laughed it off. And I'm like, there's nothing funny about this, because I feel really weird. You guys are tweaking me out, you know, because everybody was just moving real strange, you know. So I'm just like, okay. So then Victor comes home, and he's like, I started asking him, like, you know, did you rape me? Like, you know, because I knew that he had when we were staying at 857 Burnham in University Park. I just wanted him to admit it, and I asked him, you know, like, did you do something to me? Did you do something to me? You know, like, he just refused to answer, and we're standing face to face, you know, and then, like, next thing I know, like, the pizza commercials are still happening, and I'm looking at him. He's taller than me, you know, so I'm looking at him, and his face, guys, like, it just was fucking weird, like, morphed into Tom Cruise's face. Like, it was fucking weird. And I fucking jetted out of the back door. I fucking left. Like, I left. Like, I ran. I jumped the fence. I ran up the block. I, like, hid in a tree at the school at, like, Hillcrest High School. And then I, like, I ran to the back of the school and tried to, like, get in the back of the school. I was fucking gone. Like, I was taking the fuck off, you know, because I was like, what the fuck is happening? And I guess that was, like, my Martin Lawrence moment, you know, because it was, like, I was so tweaked out, and it was something that I've never experienced before in my fucking life. In my motherfucking life, you know. It was, like, some weird hypnotism, Scientology, fuck shit, trance or some shit. I don't know what the fuck that was, but it was totally out of character for me. I don't know if I was given, like, laced weed, you know, because that was the only thing that I had ingested, you know, that day, besides, like, you know, a little bit of food and stuff. And it's just like, it was just so fucking weird. Anyways, the paramedics show up. I get in the back of the ambulance, and I'm wearing my Vans. Trina comes, and she does this one thing in particular. Trina being my mom, she exchanges shoes with me. So she puts my Vans on and gives me her old shoes. This is some weird shit. Okay, because even the act of it just felt fucking weird. You know, it seems innocent, but that bitch was on some weird shit. So she switches shoes with me. I'm in the back of the ambulance. I give them all of my credentials. First thing that I said, and if you're somebody who they're trying to just like take into the mental hospital and you don't know why, always clearly state, I do not want to harm myself or anybody else. Okay? State that. That is your disclaimer. That is going to save your fucking life every time. Okay? Because, man, that I'm pretty sure that saved my life on each instance, you know, because, man, there's some fuck shit going on. But anyways, I was like, you know, I don't want to harm myself or anybody else. I'm not a danger. I don't have any weapons on me. I cleared all that out. We go to the hospital, which was like Advocate Christ in Hazel Crest. And I'm there, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, holy fucking shit. I guess Victor was in the lobby crying or some shit, and then Trina comes in the room with me. She's not necessarily too friendly. She doesn't look too happy. And I'm just irritated. And I get up, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just leave since y'all not helping me no way. I'm fine now. Like, mind you, I had been up. I hadn't slept in like maybe 4 days. Because I was just feeling fucking weird, you know? Like, I just couldn't sleep, you know? I just could not fucking sleep. I could not sleep. They had taken my baby, you know? I was still, you know, like pumping, I think. I was trying to make milk and stuff. I wasn't even drinking the water. I had stopped drinking the water at that point because every time I drank the water, it made me feel weird. So it was just like, fuck. I was kind of just like in a dormant state for like 4 days. So I think that was the main issue too. I didn't fucking sleep. So I was irritated, and I'm like, you know, I'm just going to go home. You guys aren't doing anything. I'm tired of this. I'm just fucking over it. You guys aren't helping me. And the security, you're supposed to be able to voluntarily leave the emergency room, especially if you know, don't see a reason for you to be there. But the security guard comes in and kind of barricades me back in the room. Fucking weird. So I go sit on the bed. Then this white guy comes from behind the desk and sedates me with I don't know what, a syringe full of clear fluid. Okay? I'm knocked the fuck out. Next thing you know, I'm getting transported to Ingalls and Harvey, where my uncle works. Lee Curtis Williams, the weirdo. So I'm there. They're rolling me in. They're asking me all these questions on the stretcher. Fine. And then I'm sitting there, and get off the stretcher, and I'm there. They kind of take me to my room, and I'm in the room, and all these things are occurring. You know, they're just like, you know, you can shower here, you can do this, you can do that. Fine. I'm just sitting there kind of like, what the fuck has happened, you know? Because I feel like some days had passed after they sedated me. I didn't know what day it was. I was really just kind of disoriented on the time it was. I know that it was daylight when they were pushing me across the street from, the main hospital to the psychiatric ward. But I wasn't quite sure, as far as like the details of like the date and everything. And it was cold out because they had me like wrapped up. So it was just crazy. I get there and I'm there for probably, I want to say it was a week. And this was when I initially met Dr. Syed, who prescribed me the medication that made me blind for almost 90 days. And this was Haldol. Now, in the time that I was staying at Ingalls, I saw the silhouette of Victor standing in my door with a large bouquet of roses. This was like the first or second night that I was there, and it was very strange. The people that I called while I was in the hospital was Thelma Williams, and I would always reach out to, Jason Victor's friend in hopes that he could kind of talk some sense into him. But I knew that he was with Melissa, and she was a social worker, so I'm like, okay, well, maybe they can help me. Maybe they can, like, figure out what the fuck is happening. Like, maybe they can, get me out of here. Fuck no. They were the reason I was there, too, Like, they're fucking weirdos. So it's just like, it's all bad. They're all on the same side, too, Like, so it's just fucked. And then, like, I never called Vic. I think I had them call him to pick up milk for the baby, because I was definitely still lactating and pumping while I was in the hospital. So I did want him to still receive his breast milk, even while I was there, So it was like I was fully kind of coherent at this point. I guess whatever was in my system that was kind of making me feel trippy and tripped out and weird was gone. But yeah. Anyways, so Dr. Saya gives me this Haldol. I'm released. Christmas that happened. I'm taken to Thelma Williams' house. My other two big kids are not there, but my baby is there. So I'm there with my baby. We're watching this church service, and I'm holding him, and I'm sitting on the couch with him, and I'm sleeping on the couch and stuff. And it's just weird, it just felt really strange because I had never experienced a psych ward in my life, So it was just kind of like very, like dystopian, just strange, man. Just fucking weird ass situation, Because I've never been crazy, I've never been crazy. And even in my wrongs, like, I know that I did the best that I could at the time with what I had, with the tools that I had, and there are things that I had repented to God for. So it was just like, I knew that it wasn't anything like that, but it was almost like they were trying to coerce me into, like, I don't know, I don't fucking know, some weird admission or something, but it's like, it was just weird, it was just a very weird situation. So that was the first time that I went to the mental hospital. The second time was about maybe a week to 2 weeks later, because I was feeling some anxiety. Me and Victor, again, I was asking him kind of about, like, the sexual abuse situation at our first apartment. He's still denying it, and that kind of just triggered something in me again. And then plus I was still kind of fucking blind, so it was just like I started having like an anxiety attack, and it was just bad. So it was just a lot. So from there, I could say the mental institutions that I stayed in, because I don't really want to keep going into details. I don't want to keep retelling that story and reliving that memory, because I don't want to give it any life. But, I definitely want to clear the air as far as me being a schizophrenic or somebody who is mentally unstable or anything. I am not. I've never been that. I don't really have any like anxiety or social anxiety or anything like that. from the situation that I have been through, I can honestly say that, I can still deal with the general public, I know what I have to do and I know myself, I've definitely come home to myself for sure. I don't know if, I feel like I was given like some acid or something really fucking weird that kind of just took me like way out of body when I was already kind of on a spiritual, really deep in my spiritual journey, which I didn't need. So I kind of had to put myself back in here. But I'm fully aware. I know who I am. Even if I even know the parts that they haven't told me of who I am. So, I guess it all worked out. But holy fuck, that was one hell of a trip. It was one hell of a ride. But anyways, all of the mental institutions that I've stayed in have had their issues. I realized Jason and Melissa were kind of in on it as well when I stayed at what was that one? Thoric? Yeah, Thoric and at River's Edge, because I saw Jason kind of sneak around the corner at one of them, and then when I stayed at Thoric, the fucking horror film blasting before 7 a.m., certain shit. It's just certain shit that's dead giveaways about these motherfuckers trying to fuck me over and fuck my mind, But I've never stalked that man. I innocently told my old friends that I thought that he was attractive, and I had talked about this on TikTok, but I'm not attracted to that man at all. I know that he is with Melissa or gay or whatever he is, and he's just not my type. I've kind of outgrown that. That ship sailed a long time ago once I realized he was just kind of stringing me along and being a weirdo. So you guys don't have to worry about that. I will say, be very wary of people who like to kind of peak your energy, and peep you out, feel you out, and just kind of gain your interest just to kind of lead you on. Definitely be aware of that. Because people are fucking weird. And it was a mind game, It was definitely one hell of a mind game, but I won in the end, because I don't give a shit. And I never did as much as they tried to make it seem, which is why you shouldn't go around telling people shit that they told you years ago that probably wasn't even still valid, because at the end of the day, I chose to be with Victor. I didn't choose to be with Jason. And it was never an option because I knew that he was taken. And even when he was taken, he was still, kissing Omaris and kissing all these other bitches. So it was just like, I knew that he wasn't for me. Okay? Anyways, your man is for everybody, So it's just like, I'm okay. I'm somebody who loves monogamy. I love being exclusive with somebody. I love being able to be open with one person. And that's me being able to speak from a place of, having been in different types of relationships and things in my life. So, I can say that I love monogamy. I love the person I'm with now. I truly feel he's God sent to me. So it's just like, I have no complaints there. And it's just like a very, very, it's just a blessing. That's all I can say. But, yeah, where was I going with that? Okay, so I've been to River's Edge, I've been to Thoric, I've been to, Ingalls twice, which is now U Chicago, Ingalls Memorial Hospital, that's in Harvey. I was like shot with a dart or something one day while walking downtown while I was homeless. I was wearing a black dress and some like heel boots. And I had a backpack, and something happened to where I ended up in Northwestern Hospital downtown. I was not like super fucking drunk to where I would have passed out. I know that something happened. Like some Ace Ventura, let me shoot her with a dart that's gonna sedate her shit. I definitely know something happened there. But I've had a series of unwanted hospitalizations in my journey, and it's fucking crazy. Even like since I've been homeless, I've been out and I'll be like resting. Like I dealt with allergies really bad again for the first time in years, like since my childhood last year, Spring 24, like my allergies were going nuts, like off the Richter scales. So I'm talking about constantly sneezing, eyes watering, like the whole nine. I was going through and I used to make jokes like, what is it, Coke or boogers? But it was boogers, guys, I swear to God. So, yeah, I dealt with allergies really bad. So like I would be in places because at PGM where I was staying, the shelter, there's not really a place to rest your head during the day. So it's like I would leave early and just kind of be outside all day, like just doing different things, applying for jobs, brainstorming, talking to God and nature, and just enjoying the city, because what else do I have to do? Kind of mapping out how I'm going to get my kids back under my wing, how I'm going to regain my independence, and all these things, and there was nothing I could do but just take care of myself in the meantime while that all kind of loaded up within me, So I would be different places, after eating and, I would sit down and rest my head, and next thing I know, I'm getting carried away in an ambulance or, just so much stupid shit. There's a hospital near Pilsen, man. It's called Insight, and they have like taken me twice, twice. And then Rush took me one time, and that was enough for them once. And then I went voluntarily one time too, because I like woke up at PGM and I like couldn't breathe. I felt really weird. So they, I think that's why they were kind of like saying, oh, she's got high blood pressure and she's this and she's that. They were just doing entirely too much with this pregnancy, still talking about things that they had induced, whoever they are, them people, and it's not representative of my body and who I am. I'm not somebody who typically has high blood pressure or is typically always stressed out. I'm actually a really chill person. Like I rest a lot, and I wouldn't even call what I do sleeping. I just, I have to recharge, I have to rejuvenate and travel and do everything that I do in my dreams. So it's just like, like, I don't know what they want from me, but, they definitely tried me, y'all. And, I just thank God that I'm here today of sane and sound mind to make a video like this, in hopes that, anybody else who has gone through anything, in a mental institution just knows that they are not alone. I've dealt with so much crazy shit behind those doors that can constitute as torture. At Thoric, it was terrible. Like I had a Hispanic lady screaming nigger at me and telling me niggers deserve a hernia. How does she know that I have a hernia, And then, like, this big black man who was also working at O'Hare Airport, he was one of the ones who actually, like, pinned me down with, like, 6 others and shot me with an injection of something that I do believe was probably, like, some saline and Benadryl or something like that, because it did just make me a little drowsy. But, God forbid it would have been AIDS or, like, the COVID shot or anything like that, something I didn't consent to, because once I asked the nurse what was in it, she goes, well, you should have asked me that before. Meanwhile, I'm screaming, because these people are like literally storming in at me as if I was a threat when I didn't say anything, but I said, God said no. And that was it in the hallway. And they chased me in the room and sedated me. So that's fucking crazy. you know, God have mercy on their souls, but they're going to get what they deserve, you know, because you just don't treat people like that for believing in God. You know, especially when I wasn't supposed to be there in the first fucking place. I've never been crazy. I've just been fed the fuck up with people's fuck shit, you know. So that's why I'm not crazy. I'm not antisocial, but I am socially selective because I've given way too many people the benefit of the doubt, and they've done nothing but take that and run with it and, you know, dissect bits and pieces of my personality and my mind and my creativity and the pieces of me, and then pin me to be crazy for being who I am. And it's fucked up, but it's my story. So you know, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm not crazy, you know, and if it makes me crazy for saying that, then so be it. I love the Lord, and I wouldn't be here today without God's grace. So I owe it all to God, my spiritual journey, and just, you know, myself, you know, for staying grounded, and my kids, me knowing that I needed to come home to myself for my kids and be, you know, present for them. And, you know, God's still working it out for me, you know, to this day. He's still working it out for me. So I'm more hopeful than ever, you know, that we'll all be together again soon, you know. And again, you know, I know sometimes it may seem like I come on here and talk a lot about myself, but it's just because this is a story I want to get out there in case anybody else has gone through something similar. On TikTok, I see a lot of people talk about being targeted individuals and, you know, dealing with lots of different situations similar to things that I have been through. And, you know, if I can shine a light or be a lighthouse for anybody else who has gone through this type of abuse and domestic violence, then, you know, so be it. You know, I have nothing to hide. So I said all that to say thank you. I know this was a long video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. God bless.